Both players are showing a ready on their screen, so let's count this down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And at long last, the second game of this Saturday showdown is underway. We have NEK0. We have Tetristime. As you saw, NEK0 has already clinched a playoff spot. Wilfie is in that third place spot in the division. A win could, let's see here. I'm looking at the numbers. A win could move him up to second place, move him up to second place as far as I can tell. And I think a win would actually clinch NEK0 second place in the division. Again, Tetristime, just looking to move up into that 5th place spot where it would be a playoff to move down as opposed to the bottom spot, which would be an outright relegation as far as I can tell. Now, as we get going here, we'll get to learn a little bit about our players. First, starting out with NEK0, going to college for informatics. I don't know what all that entails, but I'm sure it's in one of those STEM fields, which is pretty cool as far as I'm concerned. Hello, Panic Portal. Good to see you have joined the chat. We're on our second game of this Saturday showdown. It's NEK0, it's Tetristime, it's Division 1A. And a Tetris for both players. And NEK0's looking at about a 690,000 transition pace. That's a hey now pace. Tetristime, no slouch of his own. 630,000 is what we're projecting headed into level 19. And we are 50 lines in. It's a slight edge for NEK0. Not quite enough to say neck and neck. Or I should say it's the gap is too far apart to say neck and neck. And Tetristime just waiting for this long bar. We're in a drought, 17 pieces and growing. We're now over 20. Things are still building. This long bar is not showing up. There it is at long last. This was a 30-piece drought, and both players get a Tetris out of the whole ordeal. And I do like that line, Elp. NEK0 and NEK0. I am a fan of it. But we are halfway to transition. 660k for NEK0, who's got a hey now on the line counter. And we'll say about a 620k pace for Tetristime. So the slight edge at the moment going to NEK0. There we go. There we go. Chat's buying into the meme. A meme is born. We are going with it. We're rolling with it. And I can actually say that because these two are both rollers. Another drought in the book, 17 this time, and we're sitting at 400,000 for NEK0, 383k for Tetristime. They're still relatively close, just under a Tetris lead for NEK0 as we make our way towards level 19 and beyond. Now, the other info I can tell you about NEK0, and we'll try and get as much as we can in before things get exciting. And thank you for the knowledge there, DJ. So, informatics is what would be called computer science in the U.S. All right. Hey, today I learned you're never too old to learn stuff, and if you know anything about Toast, Toast is old. As far as prize pool contributions lately to the Matcherino, I do know some dude named Arbaro just put $10 into the prize pool. Who even is Arbaro? And has a comment to join Tetris for the non-pros. tnp.tetris.lol. You know what? We're going to, for that direct contribution, we're going to put that in the chat. So, Tetris for the non-pros, basically a league for players that have not maxed out yet. So whether your PB is like 800k or 800, they've got a spot for you. And now we are on to level 19, 658k transition for NEK0, 560,000 for Tetristime. And that lead growing gradually. It was just about a Tetris earlier. Now it's closer to 3. We'll see what these players can do as the race is on to the kill screen and potentially beyond. A 20-piece drought now forming. It ends at 22 pieces as NEK0 is able to get back-to-back Tetrises following that drought. Tetristime's going to be able to get one and a simul Tetris on top of it. So a drought-ending Tetris and a simultris. It's a great sight to see on here. And another Tetris in the books. And looking at probably just over a max out pace on NEK0's side, I'm calculating a 1.01 million. I'll be able to give you a little better number on level 22, actually. It's a little easier for me to do the math in my head at that checkpoint. So we'll wait until that one. It is the 2/3 to kill screen checkpoint as far as my numbers are concerned. And there it is. And that is, wait, if I've done my math right, that's actually going to be a 1.12 million pace for NEK0. And let's see, a 1.01 million pace for Tetristime. So both, as far as I can see, at least on max out pace. Nope, Elp is right. I didn't carry the 1 over. So it is a 1.1 for Tetristime as well. But NEK0 on 24, already over 900,000 points. Gets that 5 tap to bring the left side of the stack down. Just needs to open columns 4 and 5. Almost there. Nice delayed burn, and he is Tetris ready, as is Tetristime. Although a drought has come back again. This one's over 20 pieces once again. And it's not showing any signs of stopping as we are coming up to 30 pieces on this drought on level 25. It's going to do a little bit of harm to their efficiency, but these players can survive it. 41 pieces, and they both come out of it with a Tetris. And a simul Tetris, and a max out for NEK0 on to level 27. Tetristime gets a Tetris, so we now have a double max out, and Tetristime for a brief moment had a slight lead. And there it is again. Only about 1,000 points separating these players as we're on to level 28. NEK0 could get 2 more Tetrises. Tetristime, I believe, could get 3 more, assuming minimal burning. And there's 1 Tetris for NEK0, and I think he's going to end up burning into the kill screen, but still a very strong score, 1.12 million. Looks like maybe, at least as far as my screen is showing, things have frozen a little bit on Tetristime's side. I cannot see what's going on, but both players keep on playing. We'll see what we can do about that. I can at least tell you what's going on NEK0's side. 1.14 million on level 30, still going. And he's trying to get this stack down, gets the left open, wants to get a flat burn on. He does so with the L piece, still flat burning. Tetristime's board is back. He is on level 31. It is NEK0 with the lead. NEK0 tops out. Tetristime, you have a chase down. Your target score, 1.151 million to take game number 1. And there is a Tetris, and he needs under 10,000 points. Very line-outable. Just needs a couple more birds, and that will do it. Tetristime has completed the chase down and taken game number 1. What a finish. 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Things got exciting quick, so we didn't even get to finish our NEK0 lore drop. Now, one thing I can say is he attended the Russian Esports Championship. Not CT, not Classic Tetris Russia, a little distinction there. It was done by the Russian Federation of Esports, and I guess it's kind of a grab bag of all esports, and they included Tetris in that tournament because, of course, it's a Russian game. But the thing is, they did not choose the NES version of Tetris. They, in NEK0's words, chose a terrible version from 2002, and he won the whole thing. Right, and as far as online, he's competing, of course, in CTL and has done CTM. And in terms of accomplishments, he's gotten glitch colors. He's got a sub 16 Tetrio sprint, so pretty impressive there. Now, outside of Tetris, NEK0 also plays Counter-Strike and Minecraft. And that's a flashback to my younger days back in college. You young folks might not know about this, or maybe you do. We used to have these things called LAN parties. You'd all bring your computers to somebody's place. And this was back in the day where you had the CRT monitors, so you weren't lugging these lightweight LCD or LED bad boys around. These were the Mac Daddies, and they were not light, along with your tower PC, and you'd all hook up to the same network, and you'd play games all night. Zixby remembers LAN parties. You know what I'm talking about. Yep, back when I was in high school and my college days, that's what we did as friends. There's a back-to-back Tetris by NEK0, about a third of the way to transition, 630k pace, Tetristime on a pace of 510,000. But yeah, back to LAN parties. I mean, between my parents' house and a couple of my friends' parents' houses, we had LAN parties fairly regularly. And oddly enough, I was usually the one that was in charge of getting food prepared. I am not much of a cooker, but then again, at that time, my friends definitely were not, so it was usually up to me to make sure that that the food was there. And one of the things I usually did, I made beef jerky for LAN parties, so that was actually pretty cool. Some fond memories of my childhood long ago. Now, Tetristime has this kind of interesting tower in the middle of his stack with some hangs. He's looking at about a 570k pace into level 19. NEK0's pace probably around 660,000. So the edge, again, going to NEK0. Tetristime very briefly had a hey now Tetris rate. Add one more to the counter. But once again, we've got a little bit of delay on Tetristime's side. It will come back. It did in the last game. It will do the same in this one. And there it is. He's back and he's got a Tetris. About 80 lines in. 379k for NEK0. 362,000 for Tetristime. The lead, 41,000 points. Almost 2 Tetrises. 1.8 for those of you who like your precision. And yeah, for us, the games of choice during those LAN parties, Counter-Strike was one of the original Counter-Strike. And of course, we did Half-Life 2, or Half-Life, TOO, not Half-Life 2, as in the number 2. We played the original Medal of Honor, and we did some other stuff, like we get Unreal Tournament going, Doom, like the original Doom and Doom 2, not the re-releases. And some other ones that were a pretty good time. But we're having a good time here for a brief moment, only separated by basically a single line burn as NEK0 crosses 500,000 points, the half max out in the books. And a drought forming on Tetristime's side, 22 pieces and increasing. It ends at 26 with a Tetris for Tetristime. So we are now less than 20 lines away from making that switch to level 19. And of course, me being a DAS player, I'm used to when the board's up at where it was on NEK0 side. In my head, I'm thinking that board is getting high. But for these players, being that they are rollers, being that they are among the tops in the world, that's nothing for them. They could probably have that thing 4 rows off the top and still not have a whole lot to be concerned about because they know they can get those pieces over. Now both transition, 599k for NEK0, 582k for Tetristime, and the race is on once again to the kill screen. Now both players throwing down. We'll see if we get another double max out just like we did in the previous game. But a drought is on the board. Not as bad as the ones we've seen previously. 18 pieces. And a sizable Tetris for both as we make our way into level 21. The pieces keep falling. The scores keep growing. A Hey Now is on NEK0's side right there until he gets the Tetris. And he's over 700,000. And yep, there is another one. Tetris for NEK0. Tetristime could get one as well, but he does have that gap 5 rows up, so we'll see if he plays dirty or if he wants to transition the well over. Based on what we're seeing, looks like he's going to transition over to the right side. Well, Hey Now for the line count on NEK0's side, looking at about a solid 1.2 million pace. Tetristime also in max out pace territory. This is about a 1.05 million for a Tetristime, as they are both on to level 23. Good pace out of both of them. And Tetristime is set up for this dirty center well Tetris. Complete and utter filth on his side of the screen as he gets that Tetris 5 rows off the bottom and gets another one. So back to back, completely and utterly dirty Tetrises to stay in this game. But NEK0 does have a growing lead. He's over 900,000. Yet another Hey Now in the middle of the stack. What are we up to, like 4 or 5 now just in this game? They are out in full force as NEK0's at 909,000 points. 782k for Tetristime, whose board is getting dicey, needs a long bar, and he's not going to get it. That is a top out for Tetristime. NEK0, as far as a score, has taken game number 2. 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And as was mentioned at the beginning, these two they do have one head-to-head matchup amongst themselves already. This was earlier this year, a few months ago, in the previous season or 2 seasons ago of CTL Season 28, and it was NEK0 who got the sweep against Tetristime. So Tetristime looking to even up the series at 1 apiece. Also got his first recorded victory in a game against NEK0 with that game 1 victory. But things are even now, and as the old saying goes, what was once a best of 5 is now a best of 3. And of course, another drought. This one is 25 pieces, and it comes right at the start of the game. Arguably one of the worst times to get a drought right at the start of the game, because you're thinking, okay, it's not going to be that bad to start. But then all of a sudden you're looking over and it's like, feels like it's been 20 pieces since I've seen a long bar. Can we get one pretty please? And then by that point your stack is just a gigantic mess, and it's #1 cause of early top outs in Tetris players ages 9 to 99. So that rough start is causing both players to be in a burn situation. And guess what? Another drought. This one is 20 pieces. NEK0 gets a dirty Tetris, 6 rows up off the bottom. Tetristime now set up for a dirty Tetris, same as NEK0, now needs a long bar. But guess what? Another drought. You've got to be kidding me with these droughts in this seed. What even is this seed as Tetristime tops out at 87,000 and NEK0 takes game number 3? What is this seed? My goodness. That next drought was 29 pieces and it wasn't even done. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Now we're looking for an actual good game. We don't want any more crazy droughts. We've seen enough of them, RNG. Can you not? And of course, we get a new seed, and what does RNG do? A 16-piece drought to start. How about that? But now the fate of this game, and possibly the fate of Division 1A, hangs in the balance based on the outcome of this one. If NEK0 wins, it would ensure that Tetristime is in that bottom spot and guaranteed relegation down to Division 2. If Tetristime is able to pull this out and take a decider, then what would need to be done is Eyeball and Cole would then be what decides whether it's Cole that moves down or Tetristime, if I have done my calculations right. So, as I said, the potential fate of Division 1A hanging in the balance in this game. What is going to happen with the outcome of this matchup? And guess what, folks? It's another drought. I guess changing the seed can't even fix it. The players can't believe it. A 22-piece drought, culminating with the Hey Now Tetris rate from Tetristime before he gets that one down. And folks, we cannot escape the long bar droughts. We tried our best. We got new games. We got a new seed. But we're still getting them. You hate to see it. But we are a third of the way to transition now. Managed to get there in this one. 530,000 pace for NEK0. And about a 600k pace for Tetristime. GT with the slight advantage as we come up to 50 lines cleared. Although NEK0's managed to take it right back while Tetristime gets a Vits. So actual scores at this point, 247k for NEK0, 264k now for Tetristime. That is a Toastris. A Toastris, of course, is when somebody gets a Tetris. Well, I am giving a score update because it happens so frequently. Now halfway to transition, 620k pace for Tetristime, putting in the work here, and it's going to be a 630k pace for NEK0. So these players really pushing each other, despite the early series of droughts, trying to test the mettle of these two. As we continue on, making our way to level 19 and beyond. And hey, guess what, folks? It's another one. 17 pieces this time. Not as bad as what we've been used to seeing in this match, but still. That's just another drought to add to the counter. And make these players think they're going mad with all of these long bar absences. But the past few moments, it's Tetristime who has snuck the lead back away from NEK0, 403,000 to 388,000. We got a little mini Tetris time rift going on here, but now the screen is back, and we're making our way into the deeper parts of the game. The board is up, things are moving smoothly now. As NEK0 gets a T-spin, he's got some weight on the right side of the well. Let's see what he does to clear this out. He's got a long bar dependency over in column number 3. Manages to turn it into a J dependency, and just like that, one more burn, and he has cleared it out in Tetris ready. Excellent survival work and excellent solving by NEK0. Gets the Tetris and follows it up with a Vits. Now over 100 lines. And keep on playing. On my screen, it looks like Tetristime has walked away. Okay, Tetristime says he has to pause, but keep playing NEK0. I will await an official ruling from Kingsman if I have to do anything different other than let NEK0 continue to play. So keep on playing for now, NEK0. In terms of score, you are still trailing based on what I am seeing on my screen. So continue to play for now. And we will get an official ruling at some point here as to if anything needs to be done involving this. I'll check with the boss man himself unless he wants to say something in the chat. But for now, play until you get explicit instructions to do otherwise. And hey, Tetristime is back, so the game will go on. So as a result of that unfortunate pause, You're going to see a little bit of a we'll call it a stream delay as NEK0 transitions at 608,000 points into level 19. Tetristime now at 109 lines, so about 20 more to the transition. So as a result of this, you'll just have to use your eyes to see if there's a draw counter. I'm not gonna try and spoil it and potentially give Tetristime an unintentional advantage as he's still throwing down Tetrises. Could get 3 more before the level 19 transition, 2 more, but he does have a few burns in hand that he could use if necessary. And given the state of this game and how many droughts we've had, might be necessary. NEK0, on the other hand, is at level 21, 715,000 to 611,000. Tetristime with 1 more Tetris that he could get before level 19. And he does so with a 658k transition. So NEK0 is ahead about 25 lines, but only ahead by a couple of Tetrises. So this is not a true lead for NEK0. And as far as his pace, he's looking at about a 1.15 million pace for kill screen right now. It looks like it may have been an accidental double flip, but he's managed to burn it off and get a Tetris on top of it. Tetris for NEK0, 814,000 to 732k for Tetristime. NEK0 on 24, Tetristime on level 21. We continue to play on as our journey to the kill screen and potentially a decider continues. It is NEK0 with the 2-1 lead in terms of game, but Tetristime, you could say, has the true lead in the sense that his pace is better. He's dealing with a 25-piece drought on level 22. That was a 27-piecer, does get the Tetris, and is ready for 1 more. We'll calculate his kill screen pace in just a moment, as his pace is looking really good, waiting for that long bar. And he's looking at a 1.23 million pace at level 29. So the pace advantage definitely in Tetristime's favor. The hey now Tetris rate definitely in NEK0's favor, as he's got that 6.9 on the Tetris rate percentage. But both players now over 900,000 points. NEK0 added on level 27. Tetristime added on level 24. So could we potentially see a max out before level 26 on Tetristime's side of the screen? You'll have to see for yourself. And NEK0 burns into level 28. He's got 2 more Tetrises before kill screen. There is one of them as he gets the max out, now at 1.05 million. 1 more Tetris, and he gets it. Kill screen at 1.088 million. A Tetris on 29, and here we go. Things are even quicker now on NEK0's side of the screen. Tetristime maxes out at level 26. It's a double max out. 1.026 million for Tetristime. 1.165 million for NEK0. So NEK0 does have the lead. Can't get the long bar over. He tops out. So during a 30-piece drought, I thought we were done with those, but that's what I get for thinking. Tetristime, your target is 1.166 million. You've got about 60,000, a little less than 60,000, 55 to be exact, to force a decider. So on level 28, Tetristime could get 2 more Tetrises before the kill screen. He's going to get 1, and he's got 20,000 more points to go. And unless he decides to go extra dirty, he's going to end up burning into kill screen. Does so at 1.156 million. Needs under 10,000 points. And that triple is going to do it. Tetristime has forced a decider, 1.17 million to 1.165 million. That second heart pops on the board, and we move to game number 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And Jojo saying these dang Division 1 players hogging screen time. Yeah, why can't you all top out at like 300,000 on level 18 like us TNP silver players, huh? But NEK0 going for the delayed vid setup, and it succeeds. But again, game number 5 for most, if not all, of the marbles. You know what's at stake. A guaranteed relegation hangs in the balance. Will Tetristime get the win and preserve hope for another one? Or will NEK0 be the one to push the ejection seat and send Tetristime down to Division 2? Peekayric pointing out that NEK0's move is a Stack Rabbit approved opener. And you're not wrong on that one. At least in the games I have played, I have seen Stack Rabbit like some very, I guess you could say, unconventional moves that your traditional Tetris mindset would probably not do. The other thing I noticed that Stack Rabbit doesn't like is if you get a long bar as the first piece, it doesn't like if you put it vertically on the left side of the screen. It really hates that. I'm sure there is some sort of reasoning behind it, but in the times I've played on Norg, I've noticed that if I bring the long bar over to the left, all of a sudden my accuracy drops to like 0%. Now we are a third of the way to level 19. NEK0 on about a 600k transition pace. Tetristime looking at about a 420,000 pace for level 19. Bypasses the Tetris, but it matters not because he gets a long bar right away and throws one down. Right, and the scores right now, over 50 lines in for both players, 263k for NEK0, 186, make it 209k for Tetristime as he throws down a Toastris, and a Simul Tetris for both players. They're putting it all out there, doing whatever it takes to get the win in this decider. And we are coming up to halfway to transition. Tetristime is there, 510k transition pace. NEK0 is almost there, but his pace, I can tell you right now, is going to be over 600,000, but still has a couple more lines. 620k is the pace, in fact, for NEK0. As he sets up a long bar dependency, puts the long bar in, and now is waiting for a second one, does so, and gets the Tetris. There is a nice O-Tuck for NEK0. If you look at Tetristime's side of the board, things are looking a little out of sorts. If he gets the right pieces, he could set up for a dirty Tetris, but as has kind of been the theme of this match, RNG not cooperating with our players. But now it's good, and now he's just waiting for a long bar. Please no drought. We've had enough of them in this match, and he gets the dirty Tetris, building 2 rows off the bottom on level 18. NEK0, on the other hand, clean as a whistle. Doesn't have any gaps or garbage on the bottom to deal with. He's just getting the Tetrises, making it look easy, throwing in a T-spin for good measure as we come up to 100 lines cleared for both players. And there, Tetristime is there, looking at about a 470k transition. NEK0 not quite to 100 lines yet, super close. His next burn will bring him there. And he's holding out for this long bar. A smaller drought than we're used to seeing. He gets there, and he's going to be at almost a 600,000 transition pace. We'll see if those numbers hold as we are under 30 lines to that level 19 transition. All right, and the pieces here not behaving as much as you'd like them to for both players. They both have gaps in their stack, although Tetristime clears his out. Looks to bring that well back over to the right side. He's not getting the pieces. He could really go for a J piece. Gets it, perfectly placed, perfectly timed, and that's going to clean up his stack perfectly. Yes, perfection. I'll say perfect a few more times just to re-emphasize that point. But we have one more Tetris both players can get before making the switch to level 19. And NEK0 gets it. 603,000 is his transition score. Tetristime does at 512,000, and it is now a race to level 29. Will we get max outs? Will we get kill screens? Will we get beyond kill screen? Or will we get another freaking 40-plus piece drought like we've seen at least once or twice in this matchup? Let's hope that's not the case. Fingers crossed that the reverse jinx works, that me saying it means it will not happen. Current scores are 665,000 for NEK0, 611,000 for Tetristime. Players now on to level 21. And the game keeps on going. NEK0 has a long bar dependency. He's set up for a dirty column 2 Tetris, and he gets it. And as far as I can tell, he's going to keep going for that, staying with the dirty column 2 Tetris, and gets another one, successfully transitions the well over to the right side. We're on level 22. And Tetristime, based on what I am seeing, is on a 1.02 million pace, so on track for a max out. NEK0 is at a about a 1.16 million pace, so both players comfortably in max out territory if they can keep throwing down the Tetrises like they have been so far this game. 841k for NEK0, 719,000 for Tetristime. He's got that stack open, Tetris ready. Both players are waiting for the long bar. Please no drought. I don't want any more. Thank goodness we get a long bar. Both players get a Tetris. Over 900,000 for NEK0. So we could be seeing a max out potentially before level 26 if he plays his pieces right. He's got 2 Tetrises he can get before level 26. There is one of them, and this next one should give him a max out, I believe. Oh, very close. It was super close, but not quite enough for max out, but he's basically there. He's going to get it with his next Tetris. Max out for NEK0, 1.029 million. Tetristime sitting at 883,000, both on level 26. And time is running out. Tetristime in need of a victory here to keep his hopes alive of staying in Division 1. If NEK0 wins, it is over. Tetristime is down to Division 2. So again, the most deciderist of deciders you will see in Division 1A this season. Both players on level 27, a gross color scheme, and if that wasn't bad enough, a 20-piece drought for both of them. They do get Tetrises out of it, but again, it is NEK0 with the max out and the lead up by 175,000 points as we approach the kill screen. So TT is going to need kill screen play to get a victory and try and stay in Division 1. But NEK0 still throwing down Tetris is 1.2 million for NEK0. 1 million. He's got the max out. Tetristime is fighting back, but he's down by almost 250,000 points. He's going to need one of the games of his life post transition to get this victory in the decider. They're both playing aggressive. They're both throwing down Tetrises, but NEK0 is now up by 6 Tetrises. This runway is decreasing. Tetristime is going to need to play aggressive, but that S-piece hang is not going to help. He hangs the long bar, and Tetristime is going to top out. NEK0 takes game number 5, and he is still going as Tetristime loses 2 games to 3, and that should seal his fate. It has been decided. We'll go ahead and report this match and put the updated standings onto the screen. You hate to see it, but it do be like that sometimes. So it is NEK0 defeating Tetristime in the decider. And it certainly wasn't easy by any means. I mean, we had droughts up the wazoo for all of our players. I remember that 47-piece one on level 25. That was killer. But I'm going to report this game in. We're going to get the standings updated, put those on the screen, and then we're going to move over to our final match of the show.
DT will get a Tetris 2 off the bottom. Is clean more or less now. Now he's actually clean. 20 lines to go until the transition. Hope you're all having a great Friday night. I think I'll have a great Friday night. It's almost time for Gawa to eat. It's dinner time after this. Really important